Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Monday, August 29th. Over the next few days, we will see warming conditions across the Great Basin with hot temperatures by midweek. These temperatures will be above normal and also near records, especially over the northern half of the Great Basin. Today we will have some breezy winds in central Nevada, but really the main story is a weak upper level wave moving north today. This will trigger afternoon and evening thunderstorms over parts of western Nevada. These thunderstorms will be fast moving and definitely on the drier side, but it looks like right now pretty isolated, but still something to watch for new fire starts and gusty outflow winds. As we move into Tuesday or late Monday night, could see this moisture move up right near the northeast Nevada, Idaho border to trigger. Also, very isolated thunderstorms are expected. Wouldn't be surprised to see a few strikes up in the central Idaho mountains, but for the most part, again, very isolated, but these storms will be on the dry side, moving over areas that will continue to warm and dry until then. On Wednesday, we will see a return of thunderstorms start in the southern areas of the Great Basin, and also an increase in winds over parts of western and northwest Nevada up into southern Idaho. These wind gusts right now look to be gusting around 30 miles per hour, so it's something we'll keep an eye on, especially with the warming and drying conditions. Over the last 24 hours, only very isolated thunderstorms over southern and eastern Utah. And Great Basin fire activity was light yesterday with no new large fires reported. Over the last 7 days, we've seen very dry conditions over central and southwest Idaho into northern and western Nevada, with much of the monsoon moisture pushed further east. And this will continue to weaken this week, so we will see dry conditions in most areas going at least through midweek and then over the northern half of the basin an extended period over the next week. Currently, ERCs are on the rise and have risen to above normal again back in the Salmon Chalice and will continue going up with these warm and dry conditions, and also have continued to increase steadily over western and northern Nevada, again with this trend continuing. 100-hour fuel moistures have become critical over the western half of Nevada and into parts of southern Idaho, and again we will see these fuels continue to dry out. The satellite loop from this morning shows a ridge of high pressure dominating the west, and again this will be the main story going through the next week. There is a very weak disturbance right off the San Francisco Bay Area, which will continue tracking north, and again this is what will trigger these late afternoon thunderstorms. Looking at the weather pattern again for later today, you can see this weak wave moving over northern California with, again, enough moisture to trigger at least some isolated thunderstorms. Right now, coverage does look fairly low, but again, these storms will be on the drier side and moving over areas that have critical fuels, so it's something to watch going into the afternoon. Otherwise, we'll continue to highlight the above normal temperatures today over the central Idaho mountains with the drying conditions. Later this afternoon, again, you can see where those isolated thunderstorms may be located over western and northwest Nevada, and we do have some gusty winds moving into parts of central and western Nevada, again, to push those thunderstorms along for some fairly fast storm motions. Relative humidity today will drop into the teens or single digits region-wide, except for in some of the higher terrain of southern and eastern areas of the Great Basin. Wind gusts today, with the exception of the winds over western Nevada, will be quite light. As we move into Tuesday, that ridge again continues to build. We will see temperatures gradually warm through midweek, with peak temperatures anywhere from mid to late week. These temperatures will approach records going towards midweek in Idaho. On Tuesday, this moisture with the upper level wave moves into parts of northeast Nevada and southwest Idaho. Again, could see a few isolated thunderstorms in those areas. Also up into central Idaho, wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a few buildups, producing some gusty outflow winds or even a few flashes of lightning. Wind gusts will remain light to moderate across the region on Tuesday, and relative humidity remaining in the teens to single digits. As we go into Wednesday, again, same story, that ridge with very hot temperatures. We'll see valley temperatures over 100 degrees up in Idaho by Wednesday. So these are, again, pushing records for the time of year, so continue to highlight that hot and dry atmosphere up north where we have our large fire activity. On Wednesday, thunderstorms start to return to southern and eastern Utah. Otherwise, wind gusts will remain fairly breezy, picking up on Wednesday over parts of western Nevada. Most gusts in the 20s in these areas, but we will see an increase in winds. Relative humidity will drop into the single digits to teens across the Great Basin again Wednesday. And looking at the heat over the next few days, we will see again those peak temperatures somewhere between Wednesday and Friday. We'll see valley temperatures near or above 100 degrees in southern Idaho, western and northern Nevada into northern Utah. Precipitation will be very light. Could see a few showers with these thunderstorms over western Nevada today, but mostly on the drier side. Then as we move into Thursday into the weekend, the ridge continues to build with, again, very hot temperatures. Any moisture remains in the southern and eastern areas of the Great Basin for thunderstorms, and then those continued hot temperatures in Idaho. We will have to watch the winds on the far western side of the Great Basin on Friday. They will be picking up in northern California, but right now look to stay just to our west, but certainly something to watch. Otherwise, very hot and dry conditions, meaning low daytime humidity and also poor overnight recoveries, increasing our burning periods. As we move into Saturday and Sunday, that ridge continues to dominate, but we do have a trough moving into the Pacific Northwest, so temperatures might cool a degree or so, but still remaining well above normal for the time of year. No change in our 7-day precip. Again, could see some of that moisture in the far south produce some light rainfall. And then the 8 to 14-day outlook, taking us from September 5th through September 11th, shows hot conditions across the Great Basin and that drying trend continuing, especially for the northern half of the Great Basin. But as we approach mid-September, we might see more of this moisture track north across Nevada and possibly into Idaho. But until then, still looking at a couple of weeks of very warm and dry conditions. That concludes our webcast for today. Check back tomorrow for the latest updates.